Story 1. Make a firm decision about whether you want children of your own or not, and then date accordingly. Also, start finding lower impact exercises you can do because you're about to hit the point where your body doesn't just heal like your Wolverine. Next time you get shin splints or hurt your knee, you'll be looking at 6 months of taking it easy. Story 2-1. Learn to control your desires. It doesn't matter if you are single or in a relationship. You are now too old to be making short-sighted decisions based around fulfilling immediate urges. If you are single and you see a woman who is immature, irresponsible, and incredibly manipulative but is very attractive, control your desires and leave her alone. It's just not worth the drama for a brief encounter. Similarly, if you are in a relationship or married, and when your partner is wrong about something and instead of being accountable tries to use intimacy to make up and move past the issue, don't fall for that trap. It's not about being right or proving a point, but mature, responsible, emotionally healthy people are accountable, can admit their mistakes, and when they are wrong and apologize. So we're not going to have intimacy and ignore the issue and move past it. We're going to talk about it and settle things, then move on. Because if you allow that manipulation to become the norm in your relationship, you are only setting yourself up for bigger issues in the future when you've basically trained your partner that they never have to be accountable for anything, ever. Stop being so reactive to other people and what they are doing. Be intentional in your choices and decisions and learn to be confident in how you choose to act, even if you are standing alone. I see too many people seeking validation from others on decisions they made. Asking for advice is one thing. We all have things we are unaware of, and seeking advice from knowledgeable people is to be commended. Also, sometimes you are so involved that you need an outside perspective to get clarity. But you are the only one who will live your life and deal with the consequences and repercussions, so make a decision and then stand on it confidently. If your partner disrespects you and repeatedly violates your boundaries, do you honestly need to ask strangers what you need to do? No, you do not. Story 3. Get a plan for retirement. Enact it. Take care of your back and knees. Drink more water, less whiskey. If she is not the one, leave her before you have a child with her. Story 4. Work on yourself. Get in a healthy space emotionally, mentally, physically, and professionally. If you focus on yourself, not on possible relationships, you will end up developing yourself to be a better possible partner for someone. That will attract more people and you will find someone without as much effort. Story 5. It will never be easier to get into shape than it is right now. That's not saying it will be easy. It's going to be hard, but it will never be easier. Story 6. Stop worrying so much about your future. You can plan all you want and achieve until your heart is content, but you will still wind up with a curveball you are unable to predict or avoid. Story 7. Cut back on drinking. Take time to stretch before and after workouts. Start saving more for retirement. Ignore negative opinions and do what you love as long as it's legal. Don't answer questions from police officers, but don't give them trouble either. Be kind to people and volunteer your time to help those in need or youth who can learn a skill from you. Study other cultures and try foreign foods. Work diligently at your job. Be the person others rely on. Don't make promises unless you plan to keep them. Story 8. Forget about making fancy plans. You have no real control over what will happen. Coincidence always wins no matter how smart and educated or dumb and uneducated you are. You can prepare for all kinds of things, and then life hits you with something you did not see coming or could not prepare for, like cancer, a pandemic, or war. Enjoy the little things, enjoy the moment, enjoy yourself, because that is all that is left at the end of the day. Story 9. Worry more about saving for your retirement than trying to engage in casual relationships or spending your weekends drinking. Plan for your future now, especially on long-term investments such as a house. Set firm boundaries for dating. Kids or no kids, smoking, recreational drug usage, or drinking. Avoid problematic behaviors and be quick to end the relationship if the person violates your personal boundaries. Story 10. Date someone you can hang out with who likes the same things. Someone you can talk to. Yes, physical intimacy and attraction are still important, but you also need someone you enjoy being around. I'm 58, and one of my buddies from college is dating a 22-year-old. She walks around in skimpy clothes and is easy on the eyes, but none of us know what to say to her. She actually went into the other room at a gathering to play video games with our friends' kids. Awkward. She doesn't even speak like us. It's English, but her slang is her generation's slang. She gets bored easily during our conversations as she has no clue. We're all retired or almost retired, and she's still in university. We were out for dinner one night, and the waiter asked my buddy if his daughter was old enough to order wine. So yeah, she's fun in bed. But what do you do for the other 23 hours in the day? Story 11. Get your weight into a healthy range. I mean, actually healthy. Don't lie to yourself. Eat healthy most of the time. If you have a relationship with alcohol, make sure it's healthy. If it's not, work on that as if it really matters. Moisturize. Exercise by doing things you like that are good for mobility. If you know you don't want kids, consider a vasectomy. Don't get married just because everyone else you know is doing it and you feel left out. Story 12. Stretch. Get your flexibility up because it does not get better on its own. If you are overweight, stop being overweight. If you do not have any retirement savings, start putting away 25% of each paycheck. Do not focus on finding a good partner. Focus on becoming a good partner to your future partner. This will probably require therapy, so go to therapy. Story 13. Do not get married until your 40s. I lived my life until then. I traveled, grew as a person, got wiser through all my mistakes, and only then did I feel confident enough to marry and be adult enough to have children. Live your life before you swear your life to another, and certainly before you have kids, because you will not have a chance again until you are too old to enjoy it. Story 14. Always work on those social skills. It will make dating so much easier. And always make an effort. Do not be the quitter who gives up as soon as things are challenging. Rejection is experience more worth than gold. Story 15. Throw all your unique cards and life plans on the table immediately. Depending on where you met the person, it makes no sense to discuss certain personal interests with someone you didn't meet in that kind of space right away. That said, if you are into certain activities, you need someone else who is too, or you will end up in a divorce later on due to sexual incompatibility. It's important if you are in your 30s. You don't have time to be wasting casually dating if you are looking for a life partner or something serious. Cut through the nonsense, no more immature antics. Get right into what it is you want or need, and look for someone who matches that. It's better to find out quickly if somebody isn't compatible and leave. You should know by the second or third date at most if it's worth pursuing. Story 16. First of all, I got married at age 42 and have a daughter, and my wife isn't significantly younger than me, so don't lose hope on anything crazy like that. Second, take care of your body. 30 to 35 is usually peak fitness. That ability to shrug off hangovers with just fluids and Chinese food will end. That ability to get over the flu by drinking a gallon of orange juice and sleeping 20 hours is also going away. Heck, being able to jump out of bed and hit the ground running because you overslept is going away, which also means the ability to just jump out of bed for whatever thing the kid is doing or about to do is also passing. I didn't realize those things were gone at 40, but they are definitely gone a few short years later when I needed them. Lastly, save your money and invest in retirement. I tell a 20-year-old that too. The best time to start saving for retirement is when you are still in school. The next best time is now. Getting a 401k up to $20,000 at age 30 is still better than getting it up to $40,000 starting at age 40. You will have more saved for retirement, even if you stop investing for some reason. Story 17. At the risk of sounding redundant, anything that you should have done at 20 is still worth starting today. It's never too late to get started. There are endless tomorrows to spend regretting, but only one today to use. So invest in yourself, whether it be your retirement, your health, your wisdom, and so on. Though 50 sounds so far away, 10 years is just a blink of an eye. Story 18. Lots of women with successful careers are now looking to get married. They are looking to settle down and are mostly very low maintenance. Some have already bought a house. Many will want to have their kids now and want to take a while after giving birth to take a break, maybe until school starts. If you can manage on your own for a while, she will return to work, and you can have two very solid incomes and get ahead of the game. Story 19. There's still time. I was 39 when I met my wife. Got married at 43. First kid at 44. Second at 47. Went back to school at 35 and earned a second degree at 38. Settled into a legitimate career at 45. Story 20. Read Atomic Attraction and other similar books. If you learn what is in these books, it will change your life more than any other single thing you can do. Story 21. You are just entering the prime of your life physically, unless you are already out of shape. Double down on being active. You have many years before you see any kind of decline. Also, you now probably have a better sense of who you are, which makes new friendships and relationships more rewarding. So, go get involved in fun activities and meet people. Story 22. Work and life balance is important. A lot of people have the mindset of, I will rest when I am dead. And that is fine if you are working towards a goal. But if you spend the entirety of your 30s being overworked, you might regret not taking more time for yourself when you were more able-bodied and not as cynical as you might be in your 40s. Story 23. Personal health. Do not slack off on proper diet and exercise. If you decide to just go nah at this age, it's only going to get more difficult to turn things around later on compared to maintaining your health. Not having to take a cocktail of medicine blister packs every day is much better. Just because you're healthy now doesn't mean you can avoid the consequences later. Nobody gets a free pass from aging regardless of genetics. Low-impact activities become more important as you get older. Relationships. Neither you nor your current or future partners will look like their 20 to 30-year-old selves when they are over 40. So do not expect all women your age to have magical age-defying powers. You may and should develop a lower tolerance for the head games you dealt with when younger, especially if you are looking for a meaningful connection rather than a casual one. Friendships. Men often have a smaller group of close friends to socialize with as they get older, compared to women. Speaking personally, I'm okay with it because I only consider someone willing to support me like an actual family member as a friend. People who don't fit this are buddies that I wouldn't rely on, but I would go for a drink with. True friends are much rarer than casual acquaintances, and that's perfectly fine if you have a family of your own. Work. You're likely to dislike it more as you age. Take special care of your work-life balance. This advice is not gender-specific, but it's worth mentioning. Leisure. Embrace healthy and enjoyable leisure activities. You're not 20 or 30 anymore, and activities that revolve around alcohol, drugs, and partying aren't ideal as you get older, unless you want to shorten your lifespan and encounter health problems later. Lastly, do things that make you feel good, not what the younger version of you might dismiss. Hug a puppy, go to a spa, wear comfortable loungewear at home, play games, whatever you enjoy. Men of all ages are much better at embracing their interests and making them cool nowadays, which is great because it's a lot more fun. That's not to say building things isn't great, as I've developed an impressive tool collection over my life, but I now find it harder to do it yourself for many tasks. Story 24. It's a toss-up and kind of blends two pieces of advice together. I would focus more time and energy on doing things I love to do for myself because, once in a relationship, those things begin to get sacrificed. The second part of this is that I learned this lesson far too late in life. I should have remained single and done what I enjoyed my entire life. I am a much happier person for doing what makes me happy and not having to sacrifice what makes me happy to make a girlfriend or fiancé happy. I realized how much of me was taken away when I was dating, and after getting away from the dating scene and doing things for myself, my quality of life got so much better. Stay single and focus on what makes you happy. That is the definition of true happiness in life, not someone on your arm. Story 25. The only real moment is this one. Are you what you want to be? If not, go in that direction, but the only real moment is now. Living in the future or past is a waste of now. Story 26. Take care of your health. Start now. Once you hit your 40s, you are going to start collecting little health issues here and there, and they start to pile up. Story 27. The more sexual partners you have through your lifespan, the more you realize that sex is somewhat the same with all of them. There is no reason for infidelity. You are just going to destroy two lives, or more if there are children involved. If you feel strongly about pursuing someone else, then end your current relationship first. If you can't stand the thought of losing your current partner, you need to control yourself. It's the mature thing to do. You don't need sex, you just want validation. Grow up. Story 28. Don't be inconsiderate. No means no. It is a full sentence. End of story. She does not owe you an explanation. Respect the no and walk away. If your ego cannot handle it, you shouldn't be dating to begin with. Use protection always. If she says it is okay, she is on the pill, use protection. Learn how to communicate in a clear and respectful way. Leave the insecure macho male ego at the door. The macho mentality is obnoxious. Learn to recognize red flags so you can avoid toxic, drama-seeking, and volatile individuals who think they can get away with inconsiderate behavior because they are attractive. Everything is a two-way road, not a one-way street. Walk away if you see that things are not working out. Think very, very carefully before you decide to date a single mother. Chances are 9 times out of 10 you will get significantly burned. From experience, I dated 5 single mothers, and it all went wrong due to the mothers. The kids were wonderful, but there was too much drama with the children's fathers and everything else in between. Good luck.